This video is to help create bibliographies and citations using Microsoft Word. As an example, we'll be using Word 2013. These tools have been in Word for at least 10 years, if not more. So getting started with Word 2013. You will find the commands for creating bibliography and citations on the References tab on the ribbon. So if we click on here, you'll see the center section, citations and bibliography. We're going to spend most of our time right there. The first thing you have to know is what style you're going to use. This is often determined by the college or whoever is taking your grading your paper or whatever. I've discovered that the Chicago style seems to be most compatible with the STEP program that I'm currently in. When I was in college back in the days of yore, it was the MLA style, which you can also see down the bottom of the list there. Apparently it is possible to also create your own styles. But we're not going to get into that. I'm just going to simply make sure that that's set to the Chicago style. The next thing I want to mention is the sources. If you click the Manage Sources button, any book that you've put into this will be there as long as you maintain this list. It will not disappear on you. So, and if you highlight any of the books, you can see down here what it's going to create for a bibliographic entry based on what you've used. Okay. In this particular document right now, according to this, there are 3 entries for the bibliography. If I want those out, okay, we can just delete those out of the list, okay, because I haven't done the quotes yet in this. Somehow those are in there, all right, so I've taken those out of the bibliography list. All right, I'm just going to do a few different quotes now to help you figure out what you're looking for. For our first reference, the sentence at the end of the first paragraph, I'm going to pretend is a quote from Tom Clancy's Clear and Present Danger. I'm using that book because it was handy on the bookshelf. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to open and close our quotes. Just remember that your closing punctuation will go after the reference, so I've removed the period from that sentence. And I've got the cursor at the end of the sentence outside the quote, and I'm going to put a space bar and then start the process. So I'm going to go up here to Insert Citation. All right. I don't have that in my Managed Sources list, so I'm going to add a new source. Author, Tom Clancy. Okay. If you want to double check that, or if you've got multiple authors to put in, if you click the Edit button, you'll see that it automatically fixed his name so that it's last name, comma, first. If Tom's son Tommy is helping him out, I can put in Clancy, Tommy, and I can add him to the list. It will automatically list both of them correctly in the bibliography. I'm going to take Tommy out because he doesn't really belong on the book. I don't know if there is a Tommy Clancy. Okay, the title of the book is Clear and Present Danger. Whoops. That came out in 1989, and it was published in New York. And the publisher is GP Putnam's Sons. Okay. If you want more detail, if you show all detail, there are a number of other fields that you can fill in to your heart's content. Different bibliographic styles will use different pieces of this information. All right. If you change between the type of the source, okay, if I change from a book to a book section, you'll see there's more options that will appear up above. This entry is just a book, so I'm going to leave it here. Okay, the last thing that you have is down at the very bottom is what's called a tag name. You'll see this appear in just a second. This is how, when you create the reference, it helps you. It'll show you this as a kind of an abbreviation. Generally, it's going to be the author and the year of publishing. If you've got a short list and you want a little bit more information there, you could change that to read however you want. If it's too big, though, you'll oftentimes cut the end of it off. I'm just going to fill in Clancy there, and I'm going to hit OK. And you see that it's already created the citation for us correctly. We need to add a period to it, though, to close the sentence down. On the other hand, most citations, you're going to have a page number. This one does not, so I'm going to right-click on the citation. I'm going to edit it. Okay, and all I'm going to do is add the fact that it was page 203 where I got this quote from. All right, and I hit OK. Citation's done. Click off. It reads just beautifully. time for a second reference. Just for fun, I'm going to scroll down a little ways. Oh, this sentence here was also a quote out of Tom Clancy. Well, the great part now is all I need to do is put in my quote marks, add a space, and now when I go to insert citation, there's my Tom Clancy reference that I've already used in this book. That's my Tom Clancy bibliographic reference that I've already used in this essay. So I click in here, it adds Clancy, I right click on it again, I edit the citation, I put in my page, this time it was 468. Okay, and that's done. If I scroll down just to put a couple more quotes in just to show you again how it goes. All right, I'm going to use this first sentence right here. Again, I need to add my quotes. Okay, you close the quote, the reference goes outside the quote but inside the closing punctuation of the sentence. Generally that's going to be a period. When I go up to my insert citation, the book that I need is not listed here. Okay, so if it is one of the sources I've already created, I go to my managed sources and I find the book that I'm looking for. I'll pick on Marcel here, and I'm going to add him to this current list of the books that I'm going to use. And then I'm going to close. When I come back to my document, now I go back to insert citation, and there's Marcel right there. So I click him. There's my reference, my citation. I edit it. And I add the fact that that was from page 89. Okay. Just for fun, one more. This time I'm going to Bible reference. Bible references generally are done a little bit differently. It's simply book, chapter, verses. I'm going to use just this quick little sentence here as a single verse that I stole out of the Gospel of Mark. Again, if I hit my citation button, it's not in my list. So I go down, I go up to my managed sources. Oh, here it is right here, the Gospel according to Mark. Okay. And again, the master list has a very short title and the year published down below. You can see the entire, this is the Gospel according to Mark as part of the New American Bible from 2006. I'm going to copy that over into my current list and hit close. All right. Now, when I go back to my quote, insert citation, I choose the Gospel according to Mark. Okay. Again, now it's filling in a standard citation. When you're going to do a Bible citation, you're not going to want to see the author, the year, or the title. Those are meaningless. Generally, it's going to be something simple, just the abbreviation for the book, chapter 2, verse 5. And voila, there's 4 references added into this document in no time at all. The final step is actually putting in the bibliography itself. If you've done your references correctly, that's all it takes. You've really done 99% of the work now. What you need to do is go to the end of the document. You can get there by pressing the Control End key, or you can scroll down however you like. Just put your cursor at the very end of your document. I happen to be just about the end of page 3. That's just random luck. What you want to do is you want to make sure that your bibliography is on the top of the next page. In order to do that, you're going to insert what's called a page break. You can do that one of 2 ways. If you're like me and you really like the keyboard, Control Enter creates a page break, or if you go to Page Layout, Breaks, and you can insert a page break there. And that will always ensure that whatever comes after Fausupibus, or whatever that is at the end of page 3, is always on the top of the next page. If a paragraph gets added up above and that pushes down onto page 4, then where we are right now will be the top of page 5. It will always be the top of the current page. To create your bibliography, you've already done the hard work. You've already put in all your references. All you simply do now is from the on the reference ribbon, from the bibliography drop-down, select bibliography. Scroll back up. There it is. You're done. No problem. If you just go back and edit, make changes, there's more books, there's something missing, I need to reference another book. Maybe you have a book that you referenced, but it isn't a book that you're referring to, but you haven't quoted it. Well, if you go to Manage Sources, let's use the Michael Downey book here. I'm using that as a source, but I haven't actually quoted it, so it's now listed as a quote. Well, all I've got to do to add it is copy it over. and then I hit close. It doesn't appear in the bibliography, but if I click on the bibliography, I then get the ability to update it. And when I click update, there the fourth book appears. When you go to print, the box that's around that will not appear. That's just to show you that that's actually a field. That's something that Word is building for you. If something is formatted incorrectly, you need to go back to your managed sources and edit the actual source, because that's what's wrong. You can edit these manually, but if you fix it in your sources, it will be fixed forever. And if you use any of these books again, it's not going to be a problem. I hope this has been useful for you. This is Jim signing off.